substance of some of the claims that are being lodged against you. First, why now? Why 3 weeks later, when some might argue that it might have been more timely when the resolution was actually passed, when the storm was actually brewing? Why now, 3 weeks later, gather in Washington to do this? And secondly, we've heard a lot of defense that the Tea Party movement isn't filled with racists, but we haven't heard a lot of addressing the substantive claims that the NAACP and others have made. Some of the signs that many of us have seen at the rallies, although few and far between, but they are evident, they are there. There was an ABC News poll in May that 1 in 10, although overwhelming, most people said that they weren't a part of the movement because of racist elements, but 1 in 10 said that yes, President Obama's skin color was a motivating factor for being there. So why not address some of the substantive claims? The NAACP resolution actually said, hey, we don't paint the whole entire movement as being racist, but not enough leaders, maybe some of you here, aren't speaking out against the fringe, the few in the movement that are.
How many racists are in the NAACP? Nobody's ever made a claim as to do any of these folks not like white folks?
Yeah, go to the mic.
My comment was, how many racists are in the NAACP? You have people, we've got the Sherrod issue going on. We've got avowed racists, people that, and quite frankly, black culture is being taught not to like whites, associating them with rich being bad. Nobody's questioning these claims. The Tea Party, personally, I've yet to meet anybody racist at a Tea Party. So the idea that somebody says there's a fringe of racism and you tell me there's signs. Signs, these are not racist signs. They're not, I hate that in, things like that. Coloreds not allowed. That's racist signs. If you want to talk about racist signs, go back to the Democrat policies of the 60s and look at what was happening back then, the 50s and the 60s, where it said whites only, no blacks in this diner. Those are racist signs. If you say Obama's been, made into the Joker, that's not racist. Go look at Bush, go look at Reagan, any other white president that's been around, and look at the signs that have been made by them and make that comparison. Then I'm willing to engage into a discussion. Secondarily, these people are talking about anecdotal evidence about signs. I've debated more people on the left than you can imagine with respect to racism cause of the Tea Party. Not one person has ever been to the Tea Party that's saying that it's racist. That's like you telling me I'm going to teach you physics, but I've never studied physics. So I would just like to know when these people would actually be able to say, I can prove that there's a racist. I met racists. We interviewed racists. They don't exist. This is a figment of the left's imagination. You want to know why? Because the Tea Party movement is making a stand. The Tea Party movement is the first thing in a long time. And by the way, it's not blaming just this administration. This administration put spending on a rocket ship. It's blaming the previous administrations for what's led us here, and it's saying enough is enough. They don't pick our pockets, they rip off our pants. That's the way it's come. And people are expecting us just to say, oh, let's just sit around and not say anything because the president happens to be black. This movement would have happened if the president was pink, purple, or chartreuse.
Let me jump on here too. My father, Roy Innes, comes out of the 60s civil rights revolution, and he often told me the story of how folk to undermine the civil rights movement, non-violent, peaceful protests, will put in agent provocateurs, right? So you put in these types to undermine a peaceful protest, to throw bottles at police from the back of the protest, get police riled up to address bottles being thrown at them, and then all of a sudden, the entire protest is branded as violent when it was nonviolent to begin with. There have been purposeful attempts to inject racists within the Tea Party. Purposeful. Some of these racists were escorted out by real Tea Party members, but the media does not cover that. All right, that's one. First, secondly, I want to deal with some of the things that Kevin said in terms of these signs. Calling Barack Obama a socialist is racist? That's absurd. Half of Europe is socialist and proud of it. They have parties named Socialist, Democratic Socialist Party. Okay, and Canada for that matter. And to say that Barack Obama is within that framework of ideological thought is not racist. That's absurd. the signs that had him painted up as a Joker. I saw a sign, thanks to my friend DeRoy Murdoch, also a part of Project 21. DeRoy Murdoch came up with a poster that he found of George Bush dressed up like Ronald McDonald, and he was called McMurderer. Was that race? Was that anti-white? That's silly. I mean, to call Barack Obama Hitler. There was a MoveOn.org. We've all heard of that, right? George Soros, one of the patrons of our president, had a commercial that superimposed Adolf Hitler on George W. Bush. You know, kind of vicious signs. There was a movie celebrating the assassination of George Bush. There was a cartoon called Little Bush. You all remember that? Are these things racist? Keep in mind that when you say that the first president that happens to be African American is beyond reproach, and that if you critique him, if you criticize him, you're a racist, what you're really saying is that he can't handle the job. Jackie Robinson did not complain about fastballs being thrown at him. He didn't say, oh, no, I'm black, so you have to throw underhand at me. You know, I'm black, so, you know, if I didn't steal second base, you have to call me safe anyway. It's absurd. And I think the president should know it's actually an insult to him. And he should tell him to stop.
Can I get in there?
I'm bigger now.
Not piling on or anything, but I've been a Photoshop artist now for about over 10 years, professional graphic designer since 1976. And it is very easy. And I think we've seen a lot of the signs that, a lot of them provided by, especially recently to the NAACP, by Think Progress. A lot of those signs were Photoshopped. I know how to do it. I can spot it. Difference of resolution. To the uninitiated, I don't know what the proper word would be. You could look at it. You would think that some people at your station and other stations in the media would have people who could pick that out, but to come to this event still with the racist signs thing, when you have people who actually bring signs in, stick them up so someone behind them can take a picture of them with a sign and then lower it, or in the convenience of your home, just put anything on a sign, and you're still falling for it, doesn't wash.
What's the message to the 1 in 10, at least according to this poll, that say, yes, we are part of the movement because of we don't like the president's race?
Well, I don't really have any control over who put out this poll? Who put out the poll? Who put out the poll? Who put out the poll? Thank you.
I just wanted to say one more thing about the signs, because we're really here because of the signs, because they didn't have any proof with the healthcare issue with them marching through the crowd. We're really here because of the signs. Now, I took Ben. Let me just take a poll here, and I want an honest poll. How many people went to the website and looked at the NAACP signs on the website? Okay. So everybody else just believes the NAACP at face value. Do you understand what I'm saying, right? I took Ben Jealous's challenge. I went to the website. I looked at all the signs. I counted them. There were 25 signs. Of the 25 signs, 23 were pretty funny, but not racist. 2 of them were derogatory, but not racist. One of them was photoshopped. And you can see at the bottom, if you go look at the picture, it has the N-word. Go look at the picture closely, and you can see that it was pasted in there. I'm going to tell you, go to any one of the Tea Party Nation, Tea Party Federation websites. Click on your state. Realize how many Tea Party groups exist in your state alone. Then imagine how many Tea Party rallies have existed since April 15th of last year. Just imagine how many signs have been out there since April 15th of last year. And the NAACP is not a small organization. They have money. if there were racist signs in abundance, they would have found them.